Bibliophiles, welcome to this episode of BookTalk. I'm still thinking of changing the name of the show, so if any of you have any thoughts, please consider dropping me a line at booktalk@inkcoffeeandregrets.com. As always looking forward to hearing from you. Yes, you. And the guy behind you. Yeah, the one hiding behind the cup of cafe mocha with 4 shots. But before we get started with the book for this month, I need to get a word out that this is the last book in my reading list for now. So I am looking for more people to send me a book to read. Like I've explained before, I'm hoping to help new authors or writers that are just trying to break out into the field. I, too, am not quite broken out yet, but hey, I'm trying. I got one thing on Amazon, so I'll post it I think I have it posted on my website. But if you're a new writer or getting into it, have some short stories or something like that out there that you want me to post on my show or talk about, email me. Yes, I too, like I said, am unknown, but I'm thinking that we're helping each other out, you know? 2 people bragging about our work is better than just one person bragging about their work. And if we do it enough, someone is going to listen eventually and check us out, right? So let's get to bragging, okay? So let's get started with this month's book. I recently had the pleasure of reading a book by Kathleen Kline by the name of My Life in the Dark, A Marriage Built on Lies. Saying it's a pleasure to read this book feels kind of awkward since the topic of the book is anything but pleasure-related. In fact, it's a bit scary and sad and something that might make some readers downright angry. Not at her. Absolutely not at her. But at the situation and the fact that it happened at all. So let's imagine that you're sitting with the one you love, the love of your life, the person to whom you have promised yourself and hoped that they've promised themselves to you. You think you know everything about them, their likes, dislikes, who they are, and their past. But what if, one day, you suddenly discovered that all that was a lie, that everything you thought you knew about them was just a fabrication, theater, performance art of a sort, a play, if you will. Sure, afterward you might, through the benefit of hindsight, have seen warning signs, but obviously now it's too late. That's where we find Kathleen in this book. My Life in the Dark, A Marriage Built on Lies, is especially suited for readers who gravitate towards memoirs of resilience and survival and personal transformation. If you're one of those out there who's experienced betrayal, a toxic relationship, or an emotional abuse of any sort at the hands of someone that you thought you trusted and loved, you may find this book validating. It gives a voice to the hidden struggles of a person living under that kind of manipulation and deceit. It's not only a story of hardship, but also a roadmap of courage, showing how one can reclaim their identity and stability even after such profound trauma. Alternatively, if you are in the self-help field, like an advocate or a counselor or a professional that works with victims of domestic abuse or trauma recovery, then you might find this book resonates with you and your specific profession, perhaps as a guide to help others come through it themselves. For those in support roles, her story provides a humanizing perspective that statistics alone can't capture, helping them better understand the lives or the lived realities of the survivors. Through this work, Kline's account offers an insight into the toll that this type of abuse and trauma can have on a person. Even after separation, offers a promise of distancing yourself from the threat. General readers who enjoy memoirs with a narrative drive similar to suspense novels will find the book compelling. The shocking discovery of the lies that her marriage was built on sets the stage for a story filled with twists, tensions, and the constant threat of danger. Even without personal experience in similar circumstances, readers can be drawn in by the raw honesty and dramatic unfolding of events. I know it sucked me in at the start, and with only a few exceptions, it kept me reading, even when I knew I should be turning off the light and thinking about getting some sleep. On a broader level, people may enjoy the book because it speaks to universal themes, such as the search for truth. Even when hurt, Kline did not stop looking for the truth and the details, the resilience of the human spirit, and the pursuit of freedom shown by her persistent quest to rise above the deceit, not just for her, but for her family, and to try and find happiness and keep her children happy. Kline's journey reminds readers that even in the darkest circumstances, even with betrayal as terrible as that which she experienced, there's always the possibility of light and renewal. It's a story that encourages reflection on trust, identity, and the importance of protecting one's own well-being. Additionally, it never tells you to stop trusting or to turn your back on the hope of finding something to trust again. Ultimately, My Life in the Dark offers both a cautionary tale and an inspirational, maybe even a bit motivational message in its own way. It warns of the dangers of deception and manipulation, while simultaneously affirming the strength it takes to break free and rebuild. I'll tell you, whether you read this book for empathy, professional insight, or simply as a gripping life story, the memoir leaves readers with a deeper appreciation for courage and power of perseverance. Not to mention the tale of a woman who experienced what she did, but rose above it and pushed back, not letting it define her. All that said, don't take my word for it. Read this work yourself and take your own opinion away from it. Perhaps the story will resonate with you and help you tell your own story. Or maybe you're not familiar with the tales like this and want to learn more. Whatever your situation is, I don't think you'll be disappointed with Kline's work or her style. I'll include links to the book and her personal page so that you can learn more about her and get a copy of the book for yourself. I encourage you to read it, if for no other reason than to experience Kathleen's journey and its destination. Because of the story I covered here, my usual sign-off seems kind of wrong. So to wrap up, remember that even in the darkest chapters, truth has a way of breaking through. Kathleen's journey shows us that lies can and will cast long shadows, but courage will, and perseverance can, and will, always lead back to the light. Wherever you are, whatever you're facing right now, don't forget, the story isn't over until you decide how it ends. And that can be applied to almost anything you're going through. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate your ears and your attention always. And please feel free to drop me a line, if no other reason than to say hi. Thank you, everybody.